Hello, good morning everybody. Welcome back. Jiujitsu2000 here today. I'm back and today I have an interesting video for you. Today I want to talk about a new offering from Wowtac. This is a headlamp. This is model H01. Let's go ahead and open this bad boy up and see what is included. Now, the price point that Wowtac is looking for out of this headlamp is $20, and it's very comparable to an OLIGHT model H1 or H1R. So you'll see that little tag there that talks about screwing down the tail cap before use. That's because when they ship these, the light comes in manual lockout mode. So the next thing that you see is the owner's manual right here, and let's just skip straight to English. We'll take a quick look at that. Here are the technical parameters of this light, so feel free to pause your screen if you want to hang on to that information there. Also, on the owner's manual, here is some more information. How to operate the light and things like that. And then down there, of course, there is some contact information for Wowtac. Now moving forward, let's see what else is in the package. There is the light itself. We'll look at that a little further detail here in a second. You got some silica gel. There is a micro USB charging cable right there, and USB 2 to micro USB. So this is cool. This light can be charged via a power bank, a solar panel. You can use a laptop computer, your wall outlet, or your cigarette lighter in your vehicle. So that's pretty cool. A lot of charging options for this light. Next thing that you see in the package is 2 replacement O-rings and a micro USB charge port cover, replacement cover there. That's pretty nice that they include that. And this little card here, see if I can get it out. This is something that I'm not used to seeing. This is something new that Wowtac is doing. Nice little card there, talking about the company, things like that. So I think that's an interesting touch. Now let's go ahead and get to the headlamp itself. Now when you take the first look, you can see that this thing is pretty small. And if you look at the lens of this H01, you'll notice that they are adopting the TIR optic lens, which is very similar to what OLIGHT has been doing. That's a plastic type lens. There's the power button on the side. You have some nice heat dissipators here on the top or the head of the light. And then right here, that is your micro USB charging port. And that's where you would install that replacement rubber if you ever lost that. So you can see there very clearly that's how you would charge the light. You got to make sure that that charge port cover is in place to keep your IPX8 waterproof standard. Now let's take this off of the head strap for just a second. I want to look a little further at this light. One thing that I'm noticing right off the bat is this light did not come with a pocket clip. So I'm a little frustrated about that. I wish it had a pocket clip. Now the question that comes to mind right off the bat is, this light being very similar to an OLIGHT, does it have a magnetic tail cap? The answer is no. I'm noticing right off the bat that this O-ring that goes from the battery tube to the head of the flashlight is smashed. Look at that thing hanging out right there. So it looks like quality control might have missed that. That's not any good, because when you go to open this up, you might have a damaged O-ring there from the factory, and that could compromise your waterproofness. If you look at the head of the light, it's a very nice clean build. And now looking inside the battery tube, you have a nice quality spring there. Let me get some light in there so we can take a look at that. So see that spring in there? Very nice. I wish they would have included a magnet in there, because it wouldn't have taken much effort to make that a magnetic tail cap. It would have been very, very simple. Now you can see that there is a spot for a pocket clip, but it wasn't included in this package. So that's a little bit frustrating. Here's a look at the battery that's included with the light. It's a 16340 cell. This operates at 3.7 volts. And it has a milliamp hour rating of 650. So it's very well labeled. Very clean looking battery. Nice positive right there. And the negative there. So this is a non-proprietary battery, which I really like. This is a standard battery that you can find anywhere. And to insert the battery into the battery tube, you just put the negative down into that spring there, and then you thread the positive against the head of the flashlight, making sure that you don't compromise that O-ring. See, what happens is when this head of the flashlight screws over that O-ring, that's how you establish your IPX8 waterproofness rating. So that's pretty cool. It's a very small light, very easy to put in your pocket. I just wish they would have included a pocket clip, because they did a really good thing here. They made two cutouts, so you could have really changed the orientation of how this would hang in your pocket had they included a pocket clip. Now the operation of the light is very simple. It's got a lot of modes. So the first mode that we'll talk about is long pressing. You'll see that the light will come on to a moonlight mode. Now this moonlight mode is very, very weak. It's half of a lumen, and I don't mean weak in a bad way. I'm saying it's not a lot of light. But what they can do with this is pretty significant, and half a lumen is pretty much the standard on a lot of headlamps for moonlight mode. Now this setting will last for 31 days, which is pretty cool. Now to change the modes, you push and hold the button. You'll notice a blue battery level indicator. Blue means you're good, red means you're dying. Now you'll see the light there is on low. That's a total of 16 lumens, and that'll last for 23 hours. If you push and hold, you'll go to medium, 62 lumens, 6 hours of runtime. Continue to press and hold. You'll go low, medium, there's high, 198 lumens. This will last for 90 minutes, but if you want to convert that into hours, that's 1.5 hours, so an hour and a half. Now if you want to get to turbo, you can do that by double pressing quickly. Whoops, I didn't do it fast enough. Let me see. Low, medium, high. Actually, I did. There's turbo. 614 lumens for 75 seconds. What is that? A minute and 15 seconds. And then to prevent overheating, it basically drops back down to high. And then from there, it'll last an additional 85 minutes. Now, triple press. This does give you a SOS mode. 176 lumens on this SOS mode. And the cool thing about that is it will last for 4 hours. Now if we want to talk about turbo, right there, the throw of this light on turbo is 97 meters. That's pretty darn good. That's almost a full football field length. The candela rating on this light is 2360, It's impact resistant down to 1.5 meters. It has an IPX8 waterproof rating down to 2 meters. So that's really nice. You can swim with this thing. Again, make sure that that little rubber flap is in place. I've been saying this for a long time that I wish they would get rid of that, because I don't like my IPX8 rating being based on if this flap is in place or not. Because if I fall out of the boat and I rub this against my arm or something, or the boat or my jacket, and it's open, I don't know what would happen to this light if water got in there. I think that it would be compromised. Now the battery, we talked about the battery earlier. It's a 16340 cell, 650 milliamp hour, operates at 3.7 volts. It's a rechargeable battery. The weight of this, including the battery, is 75 grams. If you want to talk about the dimensions of this light, it is 66 millimeters long, like this. And it's 21 millimeters on the diameter, and the head here is 21.5 millimeters. The voltage, operating voltage, is 2.7 all the way up to 4.2 volts. It does have a TIR optic lens, like I said, and the LED that they're running in this is a XP-G2 LED. It does have a memory, so if I'm on, let's say, low, medium right there. Let's say I'm on medium and I turn the light off. When I turn it back on, it'll come right back to medium. If I go to high and I turn the light off and back on, it comes right back to high. And the same thing with low. If I turn it off and back on, it comes back to low. It does not remember turbo. So if I'm on turbo and I turn it off and then back on, look, it doesn't do that. It'll go to the last mode accessed prior to turbo, SOS, or Firefly. So if I go to Firefly here, you can barely see that it's on, and I turn it off, it's going to come back to low, not Firefly, not turbo, and not SOS. But it's pretty cool that it does have a memory. Now, to charge this light, you would plug in your micro USB charging cable. You'll notice a couple different colors. It'll basically turn red when it's charging, and then when charging is complete, it'll turn blue. So that's pretty cool. If you have any kind of flashing purple on this indicator here while charging, that's telling you that you have some sort of abnormal charging. So you want to investigate and see what that issue is. Now you can run the light in Firefly mode while charging. It does not have a tail cap magnet, as I stated earlier. So I think this is a pretty cool little light. For $20 price point, I think they've delivered pretty well on this. I can't wait to continue to test this thing and see what else it offers. Now let's take a moment and let's just look at this head strap and see what kind of quality this head strap is. Looks like a pretty decent head strap. Nice rubber there. Everything's nice and solid. Is it magnetic or anything? Nope, it's not. I don't think so anyway. Nope. But it's pretty cool. I like these types of head straps on the flashlights and things, headlamps, because they hold the light very well. And the neat thing about that is if you want to change the orientation of the light, you can just aim it down, aim it up. You can get just about any degree you want. One thing you want to watch out for is when you turn the head of the light up, make sure that the battery tube doesn't stay put, because if you do that, the light won't turn on. You will have put it into manual lockout mode. So make sure that the battery tube is tight against the head of the light, and then make your adjustment based on that. And again, if the light for some reason isn't working, just tighten the head down to the battery tube, and then the light will come on. Very cool light. Let's go to that setting right there, and let's go ahead and just drop that in the water. You can see that the light is definitely IPX8 waterproof. Doesn't damage it one bit, which is pretty cool, pretty impressive. One thing that I want to make note of right off the bat that I like about this light is that battery level indicator. I think that's cool because it stays on. It's in real time. And for a $20 price point, I think they've done pretty good on that. And let's go through the modes and make sure that the light still works after exposing it to water. There's moonlight mode, or Firefly as they like to call it. Low, medium, high, turbo, and SOS. So that thing works pretty good. Very nice. So it definitely passes the IPX8 waterproof standard with flying colors. Now if you feel with your finger the optic lens, you can feel the little bump of the LED. That reminds me so much of the older S-series OLIGHTs. It had that little bump in the middle. So I think they're taking a page out of OLIGHT on this one. I just wish they'd get rid of these ports. It is very convenient for a lot of people. A lot of people like that. But I like things that don't have little weaknesses like that. If they would close that and just make it where you put that battery on a charger, to me that would be almost the perfect light right there. Looking inside the lens, you can see like a red wire and a white wire. You can see a little bit of the circuit board circuitry in there. Kind of interesting. I like that the lens has a nice stainless steel bezel, and so does the switch bezel. Very nice stainless steel. Pretty cool. Nice little light for 20 bucks. Okay, we are looking at Firefly Mode. This is a really good setting, and I like the pattern that this light has. This is half of a lumen for 31 days. Again, this is a super good setting if you wanted to look in your pack or walk around, and the beam is pretty good. I can see the floor down there a little bit. If you had a splinter in your hand or your body somewhere, you want to tie your shoes or anything like that, get in your pack, this is an excellent setting. But if you look down the distance, you can't really see anything. If you bump it up to low, however, you can start to see some things. This is 16 lumens for 23 hours. You can kind of see a little bit. This would be a good setting for walking around camp. The camera doesn't really pick up what this light's doing very well until we get to this medium. Medium's a really good setting. 62 lumens for 6 hours. And look at that. It's a floody type beam. I like that. Low, medium, high. High is 198 lumens for an hour and a half, or 90 minutes. Double press. Let's go look at turbo here. There's turbo. 614 lumens for 75 seconds. Then it'll drop down basically to high for an additional 85 minutes. If I triple click, I'll get that SOS. There's that SOS setting. 176 lumens, 4 hours of run time. Single press turns the light off. Another single press turns it on to the last mode accessed before turbo or SOS, which in our case is high. Push and hold cycles through the modes. Low, medium, high. The operation, the UI of this light is very good. I love that blue power level indicator, that battery level indicator. That's cool. This is a good indicator on this light, and it's real time. I can't say enough good things about that. I really like that. I just wish they'd get rid of that charging port. Let's look at turbo there. Man, this is a nice light for 20 bucks, and it's light, doesn't weigh a lot. If you want to consider the weight, and just in comparing it to the OLIGHT H1R, that H1R weighs 51.5 grams with the battery. This one's a little heavier, 75 grams with the battery. But it puts out a lot of light. This setting, that's pretty good. 85 minutes, even after the step down, it'll go down to basically high, so you'll be dealing with something like this. That's still a lot of light. And this is what you'll look at after the step down. I'm impressed with this little light, that they were able to offer this much for the $20 price point. It's a pretty good budget light here. So some of you out there are probably wondering, what are my final thoughts on this Wowtac model H01? I like it. I think it's fabulous for the $20 price point. What you're getting here is a good light. I just wish that on these Wowtacs that they would get rid of that charging port. Because if that thing's not in place and you fall in the water, I'm afraid that your IPX8 rating's out the window and you'll probably ruin a good light. There's plenty of people that have battery chargers at home. You know, people like me. You can see clearly here that when you're in Firefly mode, you don't get the power level indicator. That's only on low, medium, high, turbo, things like that. It's only in normal modes, not in Firefly. Does this light have a lockout? So we're in Firefly, let's push and hold. Nope. What if we're off? We push and hold the Firefly and keep holding, keep holding. Does it turn off like OLIGHT? Nope. So there's no lockout in the UI, but if you turn this about a quarter of a turn, half of a turn, you can lock that light out, throw it in your pack, and you're good to go. So folks, I want to say thank you for joining me today on this video of the brand new Wowtac model H01. Please make sure that you're checking the description box down below. I'll put a link to where you can find this. I think it's going to do promising things. I really do. I think this is going to be a good light that's going to compete with many small headlamps on the market. Cool thing about this one, it's so light, you don't even know it's on your head. Very light headlamp. So with all that being said, folks, again, thank you for stopping by. I hope you got some good, useful information out of this video. Please feel free to leave your comments down below. Like this video, share this video, and as always, have a beautiful day, and we'll see you next time. Bye for now.